Oh no,
Because
oh,
being professional YouTubers, we need to make sure that we are on time. We need to make sure that everything is coherent. We need to make sure that we're actually doing the correct show with the right title. Otherwise, we, we might be a bunch of hypocrites, right, Fizz?
I know I should be wary. Still I venture someplace scary. Ghostly haunting, I turn loose.
It's showtime!
I'm just realizing now that I have a poorly cut out version of Fizz arbitrarily highlighted in the corner of my computer here. Crown and all, it's slightly derpy look because Fizz.
most of my looks are slightly derpy.
That's okay. I resemble that. So,
Right, I'm
oh,
like, I have like two facial expressions, slightly derpy and resting smug face.
yeah, yeah. No. I totally agree. But hey, guys, what's going on? Memes here. Yes, we're back from a little bit of a hiatus of stuff and things, and yes, we are back. And we all know. I feel like I've already used this for an episode, and a real YouTuber would actually do their due diligence, look back, and make sure they haven't used the same title. But we all know professional YouTubers do that all the time, right?
um,
I have no idea.
Probably.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
that
would
seems like a very
assume.
professional YouTuber thing to do. Yeah.
Now, Fizz, all I know is, listen, it's not like people would come onto the internet and pretend to be one thing and then do the other. I mean, it would be like we're pretending to play a video game on YouTube, like we would LARP and WoW and IRL sometimes, and among other places. It's, I don't know, is life a video game?
Um, actually, it is. There's a lot of parallels. Yeah.
See, the terrifying thing is, you say that as a wolf girl, yet at the same time, I'm pretty sure I've have clips of Stephen Wolfram literally going over, like, let's suppose, like, you had a game and it was played by the gods and blah, blah, blah. And as I'm listening to him, I'm like, that sounds eerily like Fizz's lore.
Yep. That's great. That is freaking awesome, actually. I like this guy. Never met him, but I like
I
him.
like, hey, who knows? Maybe that will change in the future. And all I know is for every one of these episodes up until it totally wouldn't happen, we should do a quick marketing thing for you to be the Wolfram Alpha mascot. I'm gonna keep that kicking around until I'm told no.
I mean, maybe we should like put together a series of clips and then make a neat
Little
video
montage.
out of it. Yeah, and just be like, this is why you need fizz.
This is why you need Fizz in your life. So, well, my thing is, I look at this. I'm like, all right. I take the history of computer aided assistance. And for those of us that kind of grew up in the 90s, it doesn't have a great track record. Exhibit Exhibit 1, Clippy. Conceptually, fantastic idea. People are kind of noobs to computers. Let's have a little paper clip with a piece of paper to help them out because people were used to paper and clips and stuff like that. And we're going to pop up. The problem was that the times that Clippy would pop up would be some of the absolute worst times. It's like, I don't need you right now. And you're covering where I need to click.
Yeah, like great in premise, but more like Navi in practice.
Oh God! Wait, say that again. Did you just make a Navi reference?
Yep. Hey, listen.
We got the mod. Oh, all right. We got forget. I think Samaj is an orangutan. something like that. Primate, what's going on, my dude? Professionals on the internet are all oh, choice for Dreamers is Raid Shadow. I think that's mostly gone by, although I think they're now targeting marketing to the next generation that's come up from the previous one. So I think that was mostly the 50 to 250K things, and then those people got bigger advertisements and stuff. Um,
I
and
still
and now
every
it's coming
once in
around
a
again.
while get a freaking offer to advertise Raid Shadow Legends. It's just a really crappy offer, so I've never taken it. Yeah,
Wait,
professionals
wait,
on.
wait, wait. People are gonna give yous money for talking about Raid Shadows Legends, and you said no.
Yeah, cause the amount of money, like, you can get up to this much if you do, like, this 5,000 things in this detail, and if we find any, like, reason why, we don't like it, then you just advertised for us for free. I was like, "Yeah, nah." Yeah.
See, I'm not an attorney or anything, but when I took business law, that kind of sounds like an unconscionable what I remember reading the Apple Terms of Service back when I think it was less than 100 pages. I think it
Wow.
was like 97 or 98 at the time. It was like 10 or 15 years ago. And I only got through like about 30 pages of it. I'm reading, and to paraphrase, and this is not completely accurate, just take it with a grain of salt, was you have no rights, you have no rights, you have no rights,
Yeah.
we has all the rights, you has no rights.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay. In what I learned in college from a state school, again, take it for what it's worth, is if there's something in a contract that's technically illegal or doesn't hold up to court, what they'll do is in order not to let everything go to quote unquote hell, so to speak, they're like, we'll nix that part of the contract for this. The rest of it shall remain as best we can. But if it's a point where it's like, yeah, you can't actually do that, the lawyer just put that in to cover their butts. They can do that. But
Mm.
that also requires going to court, paying attorneys, doing this, and actually getting that particular verdict, which doesn't always happen. So that's yeah, that's one of those things. But all I know is Clippy, it, as a concept, was kind of great. And then once people kind of got used to computers, Clippy, yeah, I think Samaj was saying that the paperclip is internet's Mickey Mouse. Um, Maybe in a very sad way because apparently Clippy became a very quote unquote depressing meme because
Oh. Oh.
people weren't fans of Clip. I think I learned this from you, Fizz. This is your realm
I
of the internet.
when you said depressing meme, the first thing that popped in my head is the one I saw with Clippy sitting there saying, "It looks like you're trying to write a suicide note."
Oh, oh, oh. I swear I can learn how do we do
What
this? I don't know. I'm trying to get the okay. Never mind. See, in the single thing they can wait, is there another setting there? No, it won't show the thing and okay, never mind.
Eh?
All right. I got way too oh wait, this is how we're supposed to have it. Okay.
What thing are you trying to show?
I don't know. I was trying to make this smaller because okay, so in this window, I I was trying to have you bigger, I was trying to have us be bigger and then the image smaller, kind of like it is
Oh,
here. I wasn't sure if it would do a dual screen here. It only does one screen and then takes out whatever's being shared.
yeah.
See? We learned the rule for the thing. And
Yep.
I'm totally not saying it's shoddy coding. Nah, they didn't plan for this. Listen, I respect the folks that did this. I think they did a pretty all I know is
Piper wanted to do that too. Have something shown on the screen, but like not be like ginormous, but also not be the smallest thing on the screen. And yeah, yeah.
well, I mean you can do that with blah blah blah, blah
You do it with OBS.
that one, yes, the one that I used to use, and then I got so lazy once I actually started to learn how to use it and everything. And I'm starting to slowly learn what Stephen Wolfram and a lot of folks are talking about like, well, you got all these different rules and stuff like that, and it's like you hear that and that sounds kind of like boring in a way, but then you're like, wait a second, all right, so this thing was coded to put whatever the extra thingy you have over over here. Okay. But the thing is, as a newscaster, it's going to be bringing us the Internet O'Clock news right now. And I could be a picture here, but they didn't plan for, well, what if you have like another person over here and stuff too? I feel like there's a way to do this in here that I'm just simply neglecting and just don't know how to do. I think was it one of my old roommates, he had told me once that what was it? Oh, so much like he had worked for Apple, and it's like, yeah, probably about half the problems you have, if you literally just type basic your problem into Google, on the first page, you're probably going to find the solution, and the solution is probably less than 10 seconds. Um, AKA maybe a little bit of user error there and stuff. And to be fair, they change all stuff all the time. So,
I mean, that's
but
exactly what I do when I run into a problem is I Google it first. And if that stuff's still not helping, then I'm like, all right, I need to ask somebody because I ain't finding nothing.
well, number one, acknowledging there is a problem is one of the first things, because
That's true.
as I was perusing your Twitters a little bit, I know it's one of the things in the past few days that somebody was showing to you. It's like chat and streamer, and then the chat's just like muted, and I'm like, yeah, that is very appropriate because A, I've totally boomered it. B, I've made fun of culture and a bunch of other folks all the time for boomering it. Three, I've totally made fun of you and Piper do boomering it
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. And it is a
That's
consistent thing.
crazy because I'm too old to be a boomer and she's technically too young.
Yeah, wow, wow. That is a very accurate statement. So hi Dan. Yes, we are just willy wallying about, okay, to be fair, okay, so I need to address this because I feel it's bothering. I like synchronicity. I'm okay with tangential connections, but this is the point where my brain just kind of split in the middle while I was doing things, because I was like, all right, nobody would be a hypocrite on the internet. So in my mind, I'm like, I should go to Chat GPT and do things about like internet rumors, this and that. And I saw some things, and and then I saw this. Oh, where is it? Boom, this guy right here, and I'm just like, there's a cat and dog on a keyboard, and I'm like, well, they're obviously posting a bunch of internet rumors right now. So I'm like, Fizz is just like, wasn't me, Winky. Um,
Well,
but I just kept it
technically,
as breaking.
the dog is posting. The cat's just the proofreader.
Yeah, yeah, hey, everybody needs an editor, right?
Mm.
Um, and I'm like, nobody would be a hypocrite on the internet, just because my mind just generally goes there. As a lot of the things that I look at the internet that I'm like, you could respond in many ways, but it's like I think just the simplest apathetic like way you could is like, yeah, nobody would ever be a hypocrite on the internet. As and I'm just like, actually, I think I actually used this when we were having. It was probably like around like 11 o'clock at night. Stephen Wolfram, I think, was over by the dorms at the summer school, and we were just yakking about stuff. And at one point, I'm just like, nobody would ever be a hypocrite on the internet. And it's just eyebrows will go up, and he's like, well, that happens all the time. And I'm like, that was satire. That was satire. Just just because the sheer absurdity of the statement.
You would
It's like
think.
to anybody that's spent any period of time on the internet, you're gonna realize it's like that statement is so absurd on its face that I it's like, oh, okay, yes, I needed to.
I
It's
I I need that clip. The bunny dude saying, You think people go on the internet and tell lies?"
oh. Here's the thing. That might be one of the greatest things that PBS
Right?
ever showed us.
Just go on the internet and tell lies?
There it is.
I mean, well, it's full
How
con.
do you know if any of this stuff is true? How do you know someone didn't just make it up?
What? You mean just lie? You really think someone would do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies?
I just mean that some of the details.
Whoa, I never thought of that. This is terrible. What if none of it's true? What if they're all lying? How would we ever know?
Because we are
Yes.
professional scoopers on the internet 20 years later. Oh my God, I think that clip actually was from 2005.
Oh, I bet.
So, okay, educational content was brought to us by viewers like you. So it's like
Hmm. Thank you.
this literally was shown on a kid's show, and then it's like, wow. Like my brother kind of nailed this, and it was like probably like at least maybe 5 6 years ago when I was getting on YouTube, and it's like I was just telling my listen, as long as you're able to talk to somebody, and as long as you have a thoughtful, logical, well laid out argument, of course they will see reason. And
Oh,
and
that's satire, right?
and and then yeah, here's the thing. Here's the thing. It can take an immense amount
Satire.
of effort, but at least between one person and that individual, you might be able to have somewhat of a bridge. It might be a rickety bridge. It often takes a great deal of effort. And as soon as they're out of that one-on-one situation and go back into an environment that might be slightly hostile, Twitter, I mean, totally not Twitter, the artist formerly known as Twitter, uh, but I'm just like, okay, yeah. Then I see the same things happening again, and I'm like, is this just like Pavlov? I don't know, I don't know. I just look at a lot of actions, and it's like when you start getting into things, it's like, all right. Of course, we can solve the world's problems because we're here on the internet now. We can do it as intended. And you go around to certain areas where people are conjugating. They're kind of gravitating, if you would. Why? Well, they read Rule 14 of the internet. Everyone loves a good dumpster fire. It's like, oh my. I remember when, like, was it? We had those a garden center at one point. Like, it caught a blaze and there was all this fertilizer. I think everyone was out. So it's like there were no human casualties or anything. But when you're watching a 4 or 5 alarm fire and there's like flames 60 feet in the air, it's like people tend to go, wow. I just simply see what's going on the internet, take the verbiage we've actually assigned as language and be like, that seems to check out like IRL and on the internet. So it's like, well, why would it be any different? It's like blazing inferno of disaster. Must watch. I don't know. It's I
The thing about the internet being a public square is the biggest problem with it. It's neat in concept. Like almost all of humanity has one massive public square. You just go find a corner and yell whatever. The problem is everybody's yelling stuff that they would only yell at home, and that they wouldn't actually yell in a public square. In this
not
massive
all,
public
but
square.
often people may be a little bit more uninhibited. And it's
People
not like we
people
have
on the internet are more comfortable yelling and standing on soapboxes and yelling stuff that they would normally say for like the shower and stuff. uh but they forget that the internet is a big public square when they do that. And that has allowed humans that don't do that to learn exactly how collectively stupid humanity is, and it's very, very depressing for everybody that's not doing that.
so yeah. Okay. See the yeah. It's I feel. Hold on. There's you entertain the people for like 12 seconds. Tell them about your favorite lunch meat.
Oh, chicken, probably.
Dang it!
Um.
Give me like 6 more. I
Oh,
just
okay.
need like 30 seconds.
Especially Cajun chicken with some, it's got some spices. He's pretty tasty. Um, but it all depends on what cheese you pair it with in a sandwich. That's really makes or breaks a sandwich right there is the cheese, especially the
Uh,
peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
wow. Why is this? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay. It took far too long. Oh, where are we? Here we go. Here we. Oh God, one of those things. Oh, I have. Wow, I think it's been almost 30 years since this movie came out. I'm still going to get copy struck by it, but that's okay. Here we
Oh
go.
snap!
Well, why the big secret? People are smart. They can handle it.
A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it.
Yep.
So, wow.
I still
Is
think
this
the
why
internet
this?
is a net positive though, because with all those people yelling stupid stuff within there, you're gonna hear, random people shouting smart stuff. And it's gonna take a while to sort through all of that stupid stuff to find that. But when they start collecting, the internet makes it really easy for them to collectively shout smart stuff at each other. Once they find each other, it's just it's really loud with all the dumb shit. But I mean, dumb stuff.
Oh, thank you for your trending towards GS nature. I know it's not in your nature, phrasing, but yes, yes, no much appreciate. I I think about that, and that's why it does give me hope
Yeah,
because right now it's like y- okay, the whole AI whatever and stuff, and I know you have strong feelings about that, Fizz, but just looking at my like algorithmic feed because it's like I'm like open, but I'm like not going all one way or another on it. But like it's fascinating because people like seem to be all for this is gonna be like the thought singularity or it's a bubble that's about to burst that's all hype. It's either this is the greatest, most level upping thing there could be, or it's a nothing burger. And people are very confident no matter which stance they
right.
take. It's fascinating. I'm like, wow, it's almost kind of like they have a belief in it. It's I don't know. Is it computerocracy? I've heard some people call it religion. I'm not going to
Whoa,
go that far, but I'm like,
whoa.
it kind of seems like, well, if you're basing something on an article of faith, I mean, to be fair, ultimately, I think even maths and stuff like general logic itself is based on an article, and it is like some like Gödel incompleteness there. The general gist of it, and again, I'll piss off my math friends, but it's like if you believe the rules within the system you are in are true, you actually can't prove that from within the system itself. You literally need to be a system up. So it's like if we were
Mm.
within a system, we literally need to be like a hyper user or player of the game and be outside the system in order to prove that the rules within that system are true. So I'm like, that sounds like you just gotta kind of believe once in a while.
Well, there's faith, and then there's logical belief, and I do think they are kind of separate because I feel like faith, uh, you don't need reasoning as to you don't need a theory or anything like that as to why you think something is true. It just is to you. Whereas logical like belief system is well, every time X has happened, Y's happened. So I'm going to believe that if X keeps happening, Y is going to keep happening. Like, so it's more logical and more scientific. You're basing it on something tangible. And I feel like faith is based on not as tangible concepts.
It, okay, okay. Now we're gonna do like the Professor Jordan Peterson thing. It's like, well, Well, what do you mean by faith and stuff like that? And the reason why I say that, it's like, okay, when we say faith, it's like if you believe in something, it's like, all right, I have a very strong suspicion, and perhaps some may say belief, that the sun will, at least from an observer like me's perspective, rise tomorrow. It's probably gonna rise in the east and set in the west there. Maybe it could come up the other side, but it's like this actually kind
But
of goes
that
into the
would
whole
be weird.
yes. Yeah, no, that's the point. Like when people say entropy, or it's like, what is that? Our measure of our uncertainty. It's like, all right, maybe you wake up, it's dark out. It's like based upon your experience and everything that just happens, it's like it's gonna get light out. Why? Oh, it looks like this big hot ball in the sky rises up, and then we start getting warm and stuff, and we can see. So it's like, yes, that's probably going to happen. Now, if all of a sudden the sun didn't come up, that that would be really weird, and you'd be
That
like,
would definitely
"Wow."
freak some people out once you're used to a routine that's been going on for billions of years. Uh,
Or if it starts going the other way, all of a sudden it's like it starts rising over California and it suts over the East Coast, and you're like, wait a second, something's. It's like you're like goofy at that point. It's like something's wrong here.
something ain't right. No,
Well, it's
I mean faith as in not like we're waiting on Old Faithful, the geyser that's proven time and time again that usually uh goes off every what is it, like some odd hours or something. But
like I
not
think it needs to.
always, but usually, and so he's called Old Faithful. Uh and I just called it a he for some reason.
No. I noticed that. I picked up on that, and it's like, well, I mean, to be fair, we often anthropomorphize stuff all the time. It's like, well, I got an anthropomorphic wolf girl co-host here. I'm basically also like a scaly and stuff like that. So it's like, I, I mean, that's not an uncommon thing, but they call it all. I was just gonna say, it's like, why do we do that?
I'm usually pretty good about calling things it. That's why I stopped after I said it because I was like, wow, that's unusual for me to
Would
do
you?
that.
I mean, if you called it Old Faithful and you called it she.
It
Does
don't
that
sound
make
right
it
though.
better? Does that make it better or worse? I don't
It don't.
know.
You know what's weird? It don't sound right. It don't
Yeah.
sound as right. It don't work as good. I
It
don't know
sounds
if it's
in my verbiage. I'm like Old MacDonald, Old Faithful.
yeah,
I'm like, all
old
right, that makes
yeah.
sense.
Unless you say old lady, you know, or something that's distinctively feminine. Old faithful, I guess, is something I would call a dude thing. I don't know. Like if I was gonna name a pet Old Faithful, I would name a boy pet Old
Yes,
Faithful.
the underground thermodynamics that rises in pressure and erupts about every hour.
And maybe it's also the action of erupting. Like maybe that's just, you know, very
There are many words that come out of my mouth right now. I'm going to choose not to say them.
See?
Uh,
That's why I stopped talking after I said that. I was like,
No,
nope.
no, no. See. We can learn, Fizz. We can get better. It's the whole concept of level up. Okay, I know the company I ordered those T-shirts from still exists. They're sending me advertisements. They haven't sent me the shirts yet. I ordered them like a month and a half ago. Uh,
Oh.
I need to call
I mean,
customer service. I'm
Daniel
terrible.
says, take the first definition of belief, taking something as true without evidence. Um, I think it's in the same boat. That's why I'm breaking down why I'm saying faith. I'm saying faith used specifically by people that are using it in like a religious belief sense. Their use of the word essentially, not necessarily the exact definition of the word or everybody's use of the word. Um, yep.
So let's.
Brain
Okay,
stopped.
okay. No. You're going on. It's exact. Hey, all I know is that people are saying there's some quantum foam bubbling up in there. I'm like, oh, is that why we have brain farts? Just because you got some foamy latte-like thing that's going to initiate some gas or it? Oh,
It
that would
weirds
that
me
that.
out that my brain farts happen mid-sentence, though. Like, I hate that because I'm like, I had words. They were definitely there. That's why I started the sentence.
Listen, that happens to me all the time, but I might be scragging. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
I will see you on Saturday, Thomas. I'm going to
Cool.
Fan Expo Boston on Saturday. Going
Wow, that's
there. Thomas is
awesome.
going. Rev Sully's going. I think a few other folks. I think
Oh,
my cousin and his wife said I mentioned it to them. Uh, and they might end up joining us, and maybe a few other interesting folks down there. You know, it's
can you give them hugs for me, or is that weird?
I can give them hugs for you. That's fine.
Aw, let's take a
I'll just
picture so I know that you
as I hug
definitely did it.
Sully and and the guilt man, I'll let them know as I'm giving them a bear hug. I'm like, just imagine I'm a celestial wolf girl right now,
Yeah,
and
this is. Don't worry, no.
this is don't worry. Just imagine I'm Fizz right now. It's like don't grab my tail.
Sweet. Documented. Put some ears on. Go the
I
go the whole 9 yards.
okay. So to be fair, I found one of my little clip-on furry ears. Um,
Ooh.
I I only found one. I
Oh.
don't know where the other. No, okay. Okay. So this channel has a lot of deep lore. I may or may not be very eclectic in in a number of different ways, but where is it? The wrath memes. God. Wow. I put in the correct keywords and this was all that came up, not the correct things. But the wrath memes, and then it's like, all right, we got
Oh.
the wrath
Oh,
of
I thought that
Volgoth.
said something else for a second there.
No, 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 no. See, your mind might
I was
autocomplete.
like, dang,
Yeah,
dude, what?
yes, the Wrath of Vol. Complete the sentence.
Woo.
No, Wrath of Volgoth. My necromancer friend got skunked, and and his face started to do weird things. And of course, the next thing that comes up is the flappening
Yeah,
because
that's way different from what I first read. And I blame the internet.
that's what you read. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
yeah, that
like
was
that
done on
second
purpose.
one.
No, 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 no. This wasn't. Now, for those of you that may not have been aware or paying attention about, what was it, 5 years ago, there was this thing called the quote unquote happening, where apparently a whole bunch of celebrity nudes and lewds were leaked, and people called that the flappening. Now, this was before the term where modern parlance we may use the Goonerthon or something like that. I have no idea if it applies or not. But yeah, no, this was actually about flappy sleeves.
I am I'm also here, and my sleeves they're poofy, and they make that sound.
That is literally why it's called the flapping, because she has flappy sleeves. And at the time, the things that make me laugh. That's why it's like a lot of time.
Flappy
I
sleeves
am
are awesome.
my okay. So my last poor video of totally harassing or not. I mean, playfully jabbing at McKinney after Piper may have been on the tuck and roll or whatever it was show, and Mac was there, and I showed up at his show the next day, and he starts huffing and puffing. He's like, after what you did to me last night, and just in my mind, I'm like, I don't think I did anything outside the scope of what I would normally do. I wasn't even going to pay attention to it. And due to his frantic response, I then spent 2 hours putting together a compilation of silly Macness, and I turn into something that every once in a while I'll just put on and I'll listen to. And again, I think one of the reasons why Wolfram Research has done so well over the years is Stephen Wolfram ultimately says, listen, if we build something, ultimately it will always have at least a user of one
Yeah.
himself. So it's like
Mm.
that's a pretty good thing. So it's like if I'm putting together something, it's like, all right, if no one else ever watches this, I will watch this and it will make me smile.
That's why I don't mind streaming to an empty room or an empty chat room
Hmm.
because if at least one person gets entertained by it at any time, mission accomplished.
That's the thing. Sometimes I will say words and stuff like that, and I realize that probably almost nobody will actually understand what's actually happening here. If for the exception, it's yeah, oh, don't gulp too much. But they had yes, yes, I would never try. Yes, we've had those yeah, I just like having Easter eggs out there because every once in a while, if I'm watching something and all of a sudden someone says something and I get a reference, I'm like, did they mean that? If it makes me smile, I'm like, all right, they completed their job. So I just kind of operate in the same space where I'm like, okay, if somebody can get it, that's fine. And as long as it's just kind of like someone's like, oh, well, maybe that was kind of weird. I mean, you can just say like over the top like garbage and stuff like that, make a bunch of people mad. I mean, you can do that. I do that inadvertently all the time. That's why I'm very quick to apologize
Some
because I
people
realize
just
I'm like,
that's how
oh,
they make their money is ticking people off on purpose.
okay. So back when I started to kind of pay attention, I was like, all right, I'm gonna be a professional YouTuber. I'm gonna be a content creator. I'm gonna like do some news and link sources. And then you're watching some folks. And at one point I'm like watching like the quartering and stuff, and I'm like, all of a sudden he's reading the article and stuff, and then he seems very surprised, like, oh, well, it's like you realize at that point, it's like, all right, we know you did not read this article before you started making this video. And the response is, I always just do this so you'll get my response. I'm like, really? I
Yeah,
don't
I
think that's
prefer
ever.
that personally, and Piper does too when she's on some stuff. I mean, unless it's like reviewing something that, definitely needs read ahead of time. Otherwise, she always opts to, if it's reacting to something, doing it live
No, 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 no. Well,
to
that's
get
good because
genuine, yeah, to get
you're getting
genuine
the genuine
reaction.
initial
Yeah.
response rather than it's like, okay, I've read this before. You go through and stuff. Well, see, here's the thing. I get that, and it's like, okay, no, no, there were no lies, but I'm just like, again, it's like I still remember when Tim Pool put links to his videos and stuff like that in the chat. Now, why wouldn't people do that? One, it takes extra work. Number two, I got a community guideline strike to linking to the New York Times
What?
because there was a yes, there was a very non-consensual harsh term in the language talk. It was about trafficking and stuff,
Oh
and it had
no.
a great term in it there. So I was like, it just got flagged. I'm like, wait, hold on.
That's
Number one,
messed up.
I
You
didn't.
should just be like, I didn't write
I
that.
put that in there, and I was covering it because I'm like, this sounds like a very serious topic that people should have information to. And I'm like, okay, so if something like that happens, and it's like you get hit for attempting to share your sources with your audience and attempt journalism and because I was attempting to be responsible, you ended up getting like negatively affected. I'm like, oh,
That's messed up.
well, of course things are the way they are now because it's like
Right?
people are at least going through the motions. Now it's
Well,
like,
the platforms are
here's some
cultivating
tabs.
this.
I'm just going to give you my opinion on this, blah, blah. And that's fine. You can do that. My thing is monetize news, monetize opinion, properly label them as such.
Right?
Problem solved, in my opinion. Now, here's the thing. That sounds like a thing. All I'm saying is, and again, like I'm like, what is precedent that we had for the quote unquote press before? Okay. The precedent was is you'd be a newspaper. You cover news. Who, what, when, where, why, how. It's dry. It still exists. And apparently, Canadian Broadcast Network, my friend Kali told me, she's like, yeah, after getting back to Toronto and listening, I'm like, oh, it's so refreshing. It's so boring because they're like, it was reported at this time, that this happened, at like, they're doing news. Now, if you want to do commentary, that's totally fine. Commentary, they call it color commentary. You're giving your opinions on things. Now, people very often like that. That's fine. Now, if you were in a newspaper, you had the opinion section. It was labeled opinion, so you know you're getting opinions. My simple solution, and again, this is just me, is now if you're gonna do news and opinion, it's fine. You just label it as such. Now, if you're doing an opinion thing and you're monetizing your opinion via donations or advertising or whatever, and you don't label the opinion, I just at this time happen to be of the opinion that all you do is, well, if you don't label the opinion, you can still do it. It's just the platform will just retain all revenue generated from that broadcast.
Hmm.
Or you just label it opinion and you just do the same thing you normally did because it's like, not that you're trying to deceive your audience or something. I asked Tim Pool, he's like, well, my audience knows it's my opinion. That's fine. Just label it opinion. It's okay. It's not like all of say again, I just put this as a reference because I am a hypocrite, and rather than having like those hard, difficult, detailed conversations with people again and again and again, it was just easier to like, oh, Tim Pool talked about this and has a headline that basically says my point. So I just send that video and be like, here, it's the response is in the title, so I don't even have to have this conversation. That was a very lazy thing to do, and I realized this probably isn't making things better. And yeah. As soon as you start to realize that stuff, it's like, yes, over the top garbage. What on the internet, Rick? I mean, again, I claim that Rule 14 of the internet is everyone loves a good dumpster fire, as long as it's not your dumpster. It's because I don't know. Again, I'm sure we've discussed this in the past and stuff, but it's like I'll very often see after some drama happens, and you'll have certain folks and people like, I hate drama. And not always, not all, hashtag not all, but is it just me or is it occasionally the people that very often are like, I hate drama? They seem to be around, so to speak, when drama's going down.
I was gonna say the ones that seem to need to announce they hate drama the most are the ones that are very often helping stir it in the first place.
Fizz, listen. Nobody would ever be a hypocrite on the internet.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. So if for anything, we managed to say those words in that order and show a meme with cute animals. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, right now the show has basically been completed. The objectives have been met. So, um, yeah, yeah. It's where else was I going? I'm sorry, I had a brain fart after that. Hold on.
Oh
There's
no.
there's speak off the cuff for 10 seconds.
Oh. Well, poop. Um.
We know.
Yay.
It's also interesting when you get to figure out people have certain filler words, and for a while, I I don't oh my God, I don't even know when the transition was because you know how some folks will have like the filler and it's like the and
Like
sometimes
a
like is just kind of the filler word and like you'll hear it
yeah.
4 or 5 times and it's I'll still do that often when I get like really like overworked up and caffeinated and stuff. But other than that, I think I may have gotten a little bit better. I mean, oh God, I had stutters, I had thises and that's and twitches and stuff. And it's like, wow, I have no idea how this happened. But then again, I have been dropped on my head several times and done a lot of drugs.
I think having filler words is a pretty normal this and that because freaking the awkward silence of not having a filler word while you're trying to remember the rest of the words you wanted to say.
You sound
uh
like Elon Musk on a Lex Friedman interview.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so people will, put in sounds, words, and whatever. That's pretty normal. I think, but some of you humans, if you really, really don't like it, they go to the learn. You actually just learn, like especially like public speaking and this and that. That gets rid of those words and helps you flow better. I
Well,
guess.
it also depends on kind of like I want to kind of say like being in the moment, kind of like reading like your audience and stuff. So like a live stream is going to be a bit different than maybe if you're giving like a speech in front of 10,000 folks, over maybe 10 folks, 100. Like there's different
At least
layers of
with a speech,
intensity, and
most of
it's
the
hard.
time, you've got a little piece of paper that tells you what to say, but it's still usually really obvious when someone does. I just dropped my glasses on the floor.
Okay. You should go find those so you can read President Obama's teleprompter. Uh, so one of the humorous things, and again, it's at one point people were like President Obama he could really nail a speech and everything. He was really good, and he was also very good at using a teleprompter. So even at the time that Vice President Biden at the time, at one point he was giving a thing, and he was using one of President Obama's teleprompters. The wind just blows it over, and he's like, "Oh, the president's teleprompter." He's like, "What will he do?" And he's like kind of poking fun at him. It's like, "Oh no, what's the president gonna do? Oh, he can't read his pretty words and stuff." And I don't know. I found it was humorous and stuff. It's like, look, those are the things I miss rather than like so and so is a dirty poop head that like eats children or something like that. Or like now I'm like, yeah, like this isn't really even like fun. Like you guys are just kind of like it's so easy.
Being
What is it? They call it
children about
comfort.
it. Yeah.
Okay. So okay, the interesting thing is, what was it? It was a guy I used to follow back in the politics days. Was it he's actually up in New Hampshire. I think the Wizard of Cause. And he was kind of
What?
a lefty libertarian type guy, and he made fun of like a lot of the SJW-ish type stuff for a while with a bit of a more nuanced take. And he kind of came back around more recently. He's like, I'm looking at these things, and it's like, wait a second. You remember when we used to make fun of identity politics? And it's like, really? A lot of people seem to be pretty obsessed with their identity right now. And it's like, wait a second. I thought we were supposed to be open and stuff like that. And we didn't like people pushing these particular regulations or the government getting involved with these things. It's like, wait a second. It's not like we're just doing all these things because it makes those people mad. That's a terrible argument. I'm sure that's not why things are the way they are, because we're going to vote for this person because it bothers those people.
That's it's not really I feel like a solid reason, but hey, humanity, you do you.
You don't even know. No, full disclosure, full disclosure. I have no idea. I'm just saying that there are plenty of reasons, but if there happens to be an underlying that's why I went into like science, because I'm like human beings far too complex, far too complicated.
Until you get a crowd of them, and then they are very simple. I am not kidding.
Yeah, I know. I think, yeah.
But why the big secret? People are
Oh
smart.
yeah,
They can
yeah,
handle it.
A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it.
yeah,
Oh, Tommy Lee
yeah.
Jones.
I almost forgot about that. We already derp. But it's true.
It's
It's hard to
proudness.
it is hard to um influence an individual person, but it is very easy to influence a group of them. Uh
Well, it's
and
kind of I mean, it's again. I don't have the answers why, but I'm just like, all right. If you've ever been to like a baseball game or something and they do the wave, I'm just
right?
saying, It only takes a small ripple of some folks doing it that other folks see, and they want to be part of something, blah, 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 blah. And then by after it starts, all of a sudden you see like an entire wave of stuff. You're like, whoa, how did that happen? I don't know. One dude was airing his pits. It's
Right? Like, no, I've seen that in real time, dude, and it's almost instinctive. Like, oh, we're doing this. Bam! It
I
just do it. It's crazy.
I mean, did we learn that from zebras?
Oh no, have you seen what kind of bee it is? Protect their hive. They all on the outside. One flicks their wings, and it actually looks like a whirlpool of water with all the other ones flicking their wings.
Oh, it looks like it's covered in water.
It just it looks like a water ripple when they do it, but it's obvious
I was
bees.
gonna say, what more? No, no, no. Well, here's the thing. It's that an illusion. Like if you're trying to protect your hive from a predator, it's like if you see something that just looks like it's covered in water, it's like, well, unless you're thirsty, you're probably not going to go there, especially if it's up in a tree or something. It's like, oh, why would I hunt insects? There's a whole bunch of water. I can't get at them.
Well, I read about it was a defensive something. It's not trying to trick anything to look like water. It just happens to look like a neat little ripple.
I know
Uh,
there are some
it's
bees in
actually kind of
Japan.
terrifying.
I was it that. Well, one of the crazy things was that the bees in Japan have to deal with murder hornets.
Yeah,
So apparently, they've developed a system where if a mortar hornet comes in, they'll just completely swarm, and then they'll start vibrating their bodies till they reach like I don't know, like 112, 113 or so degrees. And apparently, the murder hornets die at right around 112, 112 and a half degrees. The bees will die at like around 114 or 15 or so. So, like, they're pushing themselves to like almost death, but they end up heating up and basically ending up exterminating the murder hornet, which dies before they do. So I'm like,
that's
are they
wild.
literally going like freaking Majin Vegeta there? They're like, but they actually beat the murder boo.
Yeah, that's freaking neat.
I mean, I heard that and I'm like, okay, so I figure I'm like, oh, they're swarm, they'll sting, but they have heavy armor and stuff. So they vibrate their bodies swarming and raise the temperature. I'm like, wait, 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 wait. So what we invented technology and microwaves to do to microwave our hot pockets, they're they're literally just doing the thermal equivalent with their bodies to defend their home. I'm like, that's pretty hardcore.
And I mean, you gotta adapt or die out there, man.
Well, that's why Rick is talking about simple rules. The the simpletons rule. I'm not
They do
sure which
because
that
there's
one.
more of them. Because it's easy to make them.
Now, when we say simpleton, what do we mean?
I mean, uh, easily influenced more than a normie.
Now, might that depend on the dynamic? Because the reason why I say this is you can have some very smart, very thoughtful people, but there might be a particular topic or something where all of a sudden, when that gets brought up, eh, they kind of go nutty bananas.
That's not necessarily a simpleton, especially if they are aware, fully aware that some stuff they're not as informed on as in other stuff. Like they've got their bleh shit together for the most part, though. That's not a simpleton. I would say that's still about a normie um uh, level. Simpletons, I've like ones that are just like, for whatever reason, nature decided they're gonna be gullible as fuck, and you can't fix it.
Okay. Now, again, I'm not going to say that that's the thing. Some folks are more trusting and everything, and then I
And not just
I think a lot of
trusting, like gullible. Like there's plenty where if you are in any kind of a simpleton, if
okay.
you're in any kind of seat of
Rick is talking
authority,
about physics, and well, to be fair, physics is everything. Then you can make the argument that yes, yes, we are made of simpletons, simple subatomic particle, simpleton. Very trolly. It resonates with me. Well, to be fair, I mean, was it Richard Feynman and stuff like that, founder of quantum electrodynamics and stuff? It's like he he just called everything like when he was talking about parts of subatomic things or atomic things, he was like, it's a part parton. So it is within the scope of things that have been
Oh
done
yeah.
before. So I'm like, you look at some of the things, and again, it's like some black hole coordinate system. One of them is literally the tortoise coordinate. They literally have a turtle shell as their notation. I was looking, I'm like, oh, that's a funny looking. I'm like, that's a turtle, isn't it? They're literally using an outline of a turtle or a tortoise there. Now, to be fair, I have misspecies them before because you may or may not know it. I held a rally to restore sanity and or turtles because politics aren't binary and who doesn't like turtles. I actually had a tortoise on the banner.
Yep.
The girl that printed it was like, "Oh, that's actually a tortoise," and I'm just like, "That seems like a very piece of obscure knowledge." I'm like, "Did this gal did she Google it or something?" She's like, "Oh no, my aunt or something like had this like tortoise for like it outlived her and stuff and blah blah blah." It's like so she already knew what exactly that particular species of tortoise was and its lore and stuff. I'm like, oh,
But
I apologize
also,
for false advertising.
there's key ways to tell the difference between a species of tortoise and a species of turtle. And I
Yes.
don't know why that drives me crazy when people mix them up. Like I always correct. I've gotten better. I've gotten so much better. I used to correct people all the time on their animals. Oh, frog and toad is another one, and frog and toad is another one, and drives me crazy.
Okay, to be fair, I really don't know what the turtle thing is. I think I'm pretty good on alligator crocodile. That's usually like the snout shape,
Yeah,
like elongated versus like kind of like stubbier and thicker.
yeah.
What's the turtle tortoise difference? Is it the
Especially look
cloaca?
at their feet and what kind of feet they got. Are they
Oh,
designed for
because
water or
tortoise
not?
are more oh, tortoises don't swim.
I mean, they're capable of it, but yeah, they don't live in the water like
They yeah,
turtles do.
they don't have like webbed feet and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
turtles hang out in the water.
Oh,
That's the easiest
oh,
way. That's the easiest way to tell difference.
hmm. That oh my God, I did not know that until literally right now. I mean, like, yeah, that I guess that is pretty obvious now that
It
you.
doesn't help that like like a lot of common names for animals misspecies the animal too. Like box turtle. That's a tortoise actually.
Oh, box.
But
Every time, like
everybody
I
right,
hear,
but
I hear
everybody
turtle, I
calls it
box.
a box.
My mind
Well,
goes to
everybody
the
calls
cute
it a
little
box.
sea turtle that's going out there, and I'm like, box. I'm like, wait, pet store. Oh, it's that thing that can go in the water, but it's got walkie legs mostly.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very small, tortoises that stay, relatively small and were common pets, at least in Louisiana where reptiles were all common pets. But, yeah, but
No.
everybody calls it a box turtle, and it's a tortoise.
Okay, so this.
It's just like maned wolf. That ain't a wolf. Why is it called the maned wolf?
But,
Y'all humans is wild, man, like, make up your minds on what's what.
yeah, I mean, is part of it marketing? Is that why we call red pandas?
I mean, they're in the panda family, but
Are
pandas are in the
they? Oh,
raccoon
okay. So it
family.
actually
Yeah,
does kind of okay.
yeah,
So
they
okay,
are
so that's
actually
actually
that.
an accurate one.
They're called that because they are actually the same animal, and raccoons are too. Like, they so a panda is related to raccoons more than bears.
That I
But everybody keeps calling it a panda bear. So like, the fuck humans? What the fuck?
I'm gonna go with
Oh, right.
marketing.
I
Teddy
mean, what the
bear.
frick?
Teddy. Teddy bears. Teddy bears are fuzzy and huggable and easy to sell to children as plushies and toys and
Right, the
all
panda
that jazz.
looks like a bear. Looks 100% like a bear, but you can because you can tell by the red panda that pandas are actually closer in the closer to being in the raccoon family.
So, speaking of turtles,
That's why raccoons are called trash pandas. That right there is
so
a turtle. That's a sea
yeah,
turtle.
I oh yeah, it is. Okay, so I may kind of like doing occasional uh
That was not a
bits
turtle.
bits on turtles. A lot of people seem to like turtles.
Yeah, a lot of those are tortoises.
Okay, okay, fine. The tortoise is a lie. Here.
I like turtles. From memes of destruction, it's "Do you like turtles?"
This is how I started
that
out.
has me
I
a
was
bit
just trolling.
floored. When I was a kid, I used to keep a certain collection of pets, usually for some reason reptiles and amphibians. I don't know quite why, but I had what in British English is called a terrapin, but I think in American it's called a turtle. It's a small little, very, very brightly pigmented little critter. I thought it was kind of cool. And although it came out of this kind of mundane question, the reason people didn't get the mundane question answered is because they had to figure out all this deeper intellectual stuff. And you're kind of driven to that by thinking about this mundane question. You never would have touched it. You never would have noticed it was there had you not had this entry through this seemingly quite mundane question.
Oh, so that was one of my early interactions with Stephen Wolfram. I say this as somebody that literally, like today, was wearing like a Wolfram Summer School T-shirt.
Oh, that's so
that actually did that. Like, oh God, how long ago is this? 4 years. Okay, so it took me 4 years to go from trolling to being taught by Professor Stephen Wolfram.
cool. That is pretty
Wow,
cool. And that's a
that was
story you will have forever.
well. See, that's the thing. It's like I going into the science thing. I'm just doing some lighthearted trolling, and like he's getting like here's the thing. There's actually another video that's 10 minutes long where he actually goes into the full depth about like he gave a decent, thoughtful answer that was informative. I learned things. I'm like, oh my God. Here's the thing. That's to be. I don't know whether you knew or not, but I'm like, all right, that's actually how you deal with a troll. Like, rather than being like, oh, ban hammer, this, that, of course, they can just come back if they really want to and stuff. But it's like, what you do is you just acknowledge, you give a little pat on the head, you give a response. It's like you turn someone into a troll to one of your students. So I'm like, apparently the MO worked and everything. Oh, Fizz, you should.
The terrapin is a type of turtle. Yep.
Mhm. Welcome, Alex. Yeah, we're just running down. So, Fizz, do you have any quick bites or anything about Wolfram Alpha describing math or stuff and things? Give us a little promo for something.
Honestly, I want to hear more about the turtles from him. And I want to know if he knows the difference between turtles and tortoises.
I, I is a terrapin a turtle or a tortoise?
It is a turtle. In fact, terrapin is a general term for turtles in certain water environments that just separates them from sea turtles and tortoises. So really, it's just a turtle that's not a sea turtle. Is what a terrapin is.
Okay,
Now that's
so
what the word terrapin is. So it covers a lot of turtles, just not sea turtles.
Now is it inclusive of tortai or tortoise?
No. Yeah, it's specifically a name. It's basically another word for turtle, like he said, but specifically, it's turtles that aren't sea turtles and aren't tortoises. So
This is a lie.
all the other water critters,
So
turtles.
so we have a turtle and these are tortai, I think.
Yeah, those are probably Tortoise or Tide.
Yeah,
But you got a little sea
I'm looking.
turtle there. That's
Yeah.
a
Okay.
non-terrapin turtle.
So he ultimately, long story short, he gave a 9-minute answer when I asked, "Do you like turtles?"
That's wild.
That yes, that's the
That's
thing. I'm like,
wild.
all right.
Because I still wouldn't even have taken that as trolling. I would have just been like, yeah, they ate. And moved
Is
on.
well, he would say, he's like, well, that question has me floored. It's like, I don't think anybody's ever asked him, do you like turtles? It's like, that seems like a very arbitrary thing. He's like, I don't know how
You
to go and
get right.
respond to that.
You get used to being asked the questions from your freaking not genre expertise, basically.
Community or
Yeah, you get
your
used
general.
to being asked, all these questions in your area of expertise, in your, what you're discussing, and then somebody comes out with like just a really random normal answer or question that has nothing to do with the stuff you're used to having to answer questions about. That would throw somebody for a loop, I would imagine. But I
I
would still
mean,
be like, turtles, yeah, they're pretty cool.
well, that's the thing. It's not every day that a tech CEO is probably asked, do you like turtles? It's like, huh, that's I mean, we're over an hour right now. I mean, we can
Oh
watch it if you want, but I
no,
know you need to. Oh,
I
you
got
gotta
it.
do your stuff. So,
Yeah.
Fizz, why don't you let the folks know what you got going on?
Later tonight, I'm going back to the mines again.
The Mines of Moria.
No, the Minecraft mines.
Oh, okay. I'm
I keep
still
getting talked
stuck
into going back.
somewhere. Well, to be fair, I mean, I think you're good for Minecraft because it's like you have more. God, we can stop talking. You have more curvature than the nature of Minecraft, but like you're you're still within. Here are some blocks. Here's a wolf girl on the stand.
True.
So that's
And I think the appeal of getting me to play is the fact that it's people that like playing Minecraft for real, like all
yeah.
the time, that want me to play. And I think it's because it gives them something to do. We can show this really dumb wolf how to do stuff. And or
Oh
maybe
yeah.
rescue her sometimes.
Yeah, well, it's. I mean, I thought that happened in Pal World too. Does that game still exist, or has it been coffee struck into oblivion?
It still exists. I think they had to redo
Yeah,
the spheres, the cow
yeah.
spheres. And I think they're fine on everything else. And I do intend on going back because they finally added more stuff. The reason I stopped playing was because I had finished exploring the entire map. So I was like,
Mm.
well, that was my favorite part, so I'm done now. They've added a lot more map. So I want to go back there soon.
All right.
And I'll have to remember how to play entirely because it's been like a year. So that sucks.
I just remember something Fortnite glider slash carpet from Aladdin where you could glide over as you were
Oh
maybe
no, I think that was
starting
another one.
fires.
I think that was another one that Nintendo made them stop doing is you used to be able to ride or use some of your pals as gliders. And I think that
Oh,
got taken away. Either that or gliders did as a mechanic. So yeah, they had to take a couple of mechanics away is what Nintendo managed to get them on. And the way they managed to get them on it was they hurried up and patented it like right then and then went after them. Yeah.
I mean, that's that seems kind of silly to me. I was just gonna say it's like, well, you can't go
Nintendo
over just a blatant rip off of like the characters and stuff
that's
like
what's
that because of
crazy
like,
is they couldn't get them on the characters and a few of the concepts because there were so many knockoffs already out there that they didn't go after first.
yeah, it's
And
all you need is
then
that slight nuance. It's like, hey, we drew this in Blender or something like that. It's like,
right.
listen, there might be some resemblance that is unintended.
I know most of my pals' names were not blank and the blank would be whatever
whatever it obviously was.
whatever Pokemon they definitely were a knockoff of.
Yes. Only not a Pikachu. Yes, our electric Rodentia
Right,
that
like not
happens to be
Pikachu, not
happens
this.
to be yellow with I don't know, three black stripes instead of one or whatever. I don't know.
But yeah, they couldn't get them on that, so they hurried up and patented the Pokeball, and that they did not have it patented before. And something else, and the mechanics, a couple of game mechanics
Oh,
that
that's
were
dangerous.
basically the
No,
same,
that's
right?
dangerous.
It's a dangerous precedent, that's for sure.
As soon as you start patenting the Pokeball, that just makes me think it's like, what happened if Palward did that and they patented whatever the Pal Ball or something? Would that mean that Pokemon would have to pay them every time they use the Pokeball?
Right? Except the Pokeball it existed first, so they had a leg up
Okay, so
there.
you would be grandfathered in, so it's like, what are you gonna do? It's
Yeah, but there was some stuff they didn't have patented, and when Pal World was like first came out, they hurried up and applied for the patent, and then waited and waited, and as soon as their patent they got it, that's when they took them to court.
Okay, that's why it's
Yeah,
you're a
it's
company and
cheap.
you got a
It's a
bunch of
cheap
money and
shot.
lawyers and yeah.
Nintendo's
Whatever.
skeevy, man. Like, damn,
Well, to be fair, I mean, when you
dang.
saw Palward, you're like, the initial response is, "This looks fantastical. I'm pretty sure it's going to get nuked by copyright."
Yeah, yeah. Everybody
My
was kind of
basic
like,
reaction is now there were a
Pokemon
lot of
with guns,
differences, so
sweet.
yeah, no. I mean, there were. I was surprised at the differences. I thought it was just a complete ripoff. But hey, welcome 6-0. We're just winding down. Fizz is getting ready to go play in Minecraft in probably about another hour and a half, I think.
Yeah, probably gonna die a whole lot in Minecraft.
Yep. All right, Fizz. Any closing words for the folks?
Poo.
You heard it here, folks.
I'm broken. You broke me. Oh no. Oh dear. You guys? You guys! I just want to